After a week, at exactly 4:30 a.m., and woke up early in the morning to prepare the ingredients she needed for the dish she will cook. She decided to make a breakfast for Hyunjin and for the other boys. After finishing cooking, she went to her bedroom and did her morning routine. Then she went back to the kitchen again. Wait, I should leave a note to mom. In thought, as her mother is still sound asleep. Mom, good morning. I went to Hyunjin's single quotes ass house early because I planned to surprise him with breakfast. Sorry if I can't join you for breakfast just for this, anyway. I also cooked for you and... Okay, it's all good, let's go. In said excitedly. She went to Hyunjin's house, smiling. She arrived safely at Hyunjin's house, and she immediately put down the bag who had the breakfast on the kitchen. Then she come to her boyfriend's room to check on him. She slowly went inside the room, sitting at the edge of the bed, trying not to wake him up. You must be so tired, she said quietly and gently kissed Hyunjin's forehead. But I need to serve the foods I cooked. She walked quietly and slowly opened the door so that Hyunjin won't wake up and go to the kitchen. It's already 5:30 a.m., okay? Faster, In said, taking the food out of the containers and placing them on the serving plates. As she prepares the dining table, she puts plates, forks, spoons, bowls and the foods. Time went too fast. It's already 6 a.m. She sits on the counter island and needs to breathe, putting down her head. Then suddenly she fell asleep. Meanwhile, Hyunjin woke up. He smells something delicious. Minho Hyung must be awake now, he thought. He gets up and checks his phone. It's already 6:30 a.m. In must be awake now and eating. He thought. He messaged in good morning and went to the bathroom to take a shower, After showering, he dried his hair and went back to his bedroom to check his phone again. No reply. Is she still sleeping? She must be tired, studying, he thought, putting his phone in his pocket after putting on clothes. Then he grabbed his bag and went downstairs. You're awake, Sungmin said, smiling, seeing Hyunjin coming downstairs. Why? Hyunjin asked in confusion, seeing the facial expression of his friends. Just go there. Hyunjin walked to the kitchen and he was shocked to see and hear. What is she doing here? He asked in surprise but was smiling. It looks like she came here and cooked breakfast, Chan said, pointing at the dining table, where the food is ready. You must still be sleepy, he said, gently patting her head, then hugged her, and felt a pair of hands around her waist. She yawns, opening her closed eyes and turning around only to see her boyfriend. Love, she said in a sleepy tone. What time did you get here? Hyunjin asked softly. 5:15 a.m., Yin replied. I miss you, she said, hugging him tightly. I miss you too, Hyunjin said lovingly. Go sit there, I will just put the food there, In said softly, breaking the hug. No need, In, everything is on the table already, Chan said, interrupting the lovebirds. In just so remembered that she put them already there before she fell asleep. Thank you for cooking this much, In, Chan said, appreciating the hard work of YN. Chan, whom he is right. Thank you, love, Hyunjin said affectionately, kissing the temples of In. Then they walked to the dining table. Thank you for the food, they all said as they dug in. After they ate, they went straight to the university. As they walked through the hallway of the school, they saw the girls. Boys, you're already here. It's a pity you weren't here last week. We went to the club, Toyu said, a little disappointed. Speaking of that, there's a lot of guys there and you guys are girls. Did something happen? Hyunjin was worried but curious. Nothing happened, instead anxious and nervous, but she tried not to show it. She turned around to grab her books from the locker, and when she grabbed it, something fell, an envelope. In looked at it in confusion, but she's curious to know what's inside it. She's about to grab it, but Hyunjin grabs it first. "What is this?" he said as he opened the envelope, staring at it with eyes full of anger. "A picture, in thought. Love. What's the problem?" she asked, touching his arm softly, worried seeing the change in Hyunjin's expression. Meanwhile, somewhere, someone is sipping the wine, sitting in the luxury living room. "Did you send it?" the boss asked the secretary, who's standing behind double quotes. "Yes, we already sent it. Maybe now the two of them are having a fight," the secretary said to the boss, smiling. "Good job, you may leave now." The secretary left, bowing. "You're only mine. You should only love me and no one else," the boss said, smirking, satisfied with the plan. In asked a question, answering that Hyunjin showed her the pictures. "What is this In? Are you cheating on me?" he shouted, feeling furious, getting the attention of the other students. "No, love, it's not what you think," In said, desperate, wanting to explain. "Then what is this?" Hyunjin shouted, emphasizing each word with anger. Yn flinched at his shout. "Love, calm down first, okay?" In said, desperately trying to calm down her boyfriend. Hyunjin grabs her cheeks and pushes her to the locker. "I said, what is this?" He throws the pictures and it spreads on the floor. "I only left for 1 week and you already cheated on me," Hyunjin said, feeling hurt but furious. "Love, let me explain," In said, stuttering as she tapped his shoulders, signing to let her go. But in return, Hyunjin only grabbed her wrist harshly and put over her head. Then Chan and Gio both said, "They're getting worried about what's happening. They are trying to make Hyunjin come to his senses. Due to Hyunjin's actions, Yn lost it. Everything is flashing back to her mind, the memories when Hyunjin tortured her." "No, please, no," instead feeling crushed and vulnerable. The tears are starting to up and everything is being chaotic on her mind. "You broke my trust in Hyunjin," said, feeling the pain. While In is in her own world, breaking down. "Let's break up," he said, feeling his heart is bleeding. The tears are coming down, visible on his cheeks. After saying it, he ran away, letting go of In. Then the other boys ran away to going after Hyunjin, while the others stayed with In and the girls. In Gio said, tapping her cheeks, "No, don't touch me," In said, pushing Gio away, panicking. She lost on her own thoughts as the tortured are coming back on her mind. "In, it's us, In," Yuna said, slightly shaking and to make her come to her senses. "No, don't come near me." "Hey Felix, what's happening to In? You?" asked Felix, confused at what's happening to their friend. Her trauma," Felix replied. He hesitated to tell them, but he had to, for them to help In too. "What?" They all got shocked at what Felix said. Felix and Hyunjin are the only one who knew about In's health condition. She had a PTSD. Hyunjin, what did you do? You bring it back," Felix said, cursing at Hyunjin. "What are you saying?" Gio asked. "Yes, what are you saying, Hyunjin?" Gen asked too, as they all looked Felix confused. "Later I'll explain everything, but now let's just find her medicine in her bag. She always brought it just in case. Quick, Jengin, go buy water," Felix said, as they quickly searched In's medicine in her bag, and Jengin quickly went out to the cafeteria to buy water. He came back running, giving the water to Gio, and she made In drink her medicine to calm her down. But then she passed out after taking the medicine. They all panicked after seeing this. "I'm gonna take her to the clinic. Just follow us," Minho said, being reliable, and then he took In to the clinic and put her on the bed, calling the nurse. After a few minutes, they all wait there, waiting for In to wake up. But then Gio remembers what Felix told them earlier. "So Felix, tell us," Gio said seriously, looking at Felix, waiting for him to answer. "Okay, react after I tell you everything," Don't interrupt me, Felix said, as he deeply sighed, but then, in, someone shouted from the hallway and slammed open the door of the clinic. It's none other than Sana In's mother. Auntie Gio stands up, seeing her. Who are you guys? Sana said, pointing towards the boys, curious. We're friends of In, Minho replied. Auntie, this is Minho, Jangin, Sungmin, and Felix, Gio said, introducing the boys to Sana. Nice meeting you. I'm In's mother, Sana. But Gio, what happened to her? Sana said, introducing herself, but other than that, she's worried about her daughter. Auntie, she fainted earlier, Gio replied, guiding Sana to sit beside In. She fainted. Yet Hyunjin is not here. I don't see him. Where is he? Sana said, doubtful, as she looked around the room. That's the issue here, Auntie. Hyunjin left when they fought earlier. After that and passed out, Yuna said, agitated, wanting to know the truth. Fight? My daughter isn't that weak to faint over a fight, Sana said, confused about everything. Auntie, I will explain, but please don't be angry at Hyunjin nor us, and please, don't be shocked, Felix said at the side, interrupting their conversation. You know why Hyunjin kidnapped In, right? They all nodded as a response. After that, Hyunjin always was harsh to In. Due to that, In has a trauma over Hyunjin, and today it resurfaces again. Furthermore, it is because of what Hyunjin did to In a few months ago. But it gets clear when In calls you auntie, but the medication is still going to not trigger anymore. Hyunjin decided to treat her well because he loves In already. Felix continued to explain the whole situation to them. Actually, he felt nervous explaining everything, because he didn't single quotes to know what their reaction would be, especially In's mother, Sana. More precisely, all the bruises that In had were treated, but her trauma was treated, but not completely. Don't be angry at us if I only told guys this now, because Hyunjin at that time is focusing on healing, and after everything Felix told them, In move and wake up. Mom, what are you doing here? Why am I here? In asked to see Sana there as soon as she opened her eyes. In, you fainted earlier, Sana said softly to her daughter. Where's Hyunjin? Call Hyunjin. In said, looking around, but didn't see her boyfriend, but her friends didn't move an inch. Why don't you guys move? Why are all of you quiet? Mom, call Hyunjin, yn, said, slightly shouting because of anxiousness. In, calm down, Dan. Single quotes, do you remember what happened earlier? Gio said, trying to calm down her friend. Why? What happened earlier? In asked, uncertain. In, I'm sorry if I will tell you this straightforward, Taizu said softly. Okay, just tell me then. In said, hardly wanting to know what exactly happened. You and Hyunjin broke up. You said in one breath, closing her eyes nervously. Yn is shocked hearing it. What? No, that's not true, she said in denial, shaking her head, but then everything that happened earlier flashed in her mind, remembering it. It's because of the pictures. She suddenly gets up in a hurry. I need to see Hyunjin, she said desperately. In, no. Now is not the right time. What if you faint again? Tazu said worriedly, stopping In. Mom, I need to see Hyunjin. I need to explain to him. Mom, she cried, vulnerable. She feels empty without him. She feels crushed at what happened to them. Calm down, Tizu is right. Now is not the right time. Wait until he cools down, Sana said tenderly, embracing her daughter to calm her down. But Mom, In said stubbornly. In, listen to me. You're weak now. Once you get yourself together, once you organize yourself, once he cools down, and once he's ready to hear your side, that's the right time to talk to him, okay? Sana said softly, trying to make her daughter see the bigger picture, to realize this. Eventually, In sat at the bed crying her heart out. A few minutes later, In is calm now and she's just staring at a distance, and Dot not moving. She looked lost. Auntie? We need to go home now, our friends have been calling us. Bye In, bye girls, bye Auntie, Minho said, and left. In the beginning, when Hyunjin ran away, Chan Changbin and Han followed him to the school parking lot. They saw Hyunjin drive off the car as he ran faster than them. He takes the car, Chan sighed. Remember, they all got to school together, with one car? Home, what are we going to do now? Han asked, breathless. Due to running, no choice, we need to run. Make sure you will not lose him. Okay, Hyunyoung. They chase after Hyunjin, and it looks like he's going home. Han Changbin, let's go to the house, it looks like that's where he's going. Chan said to the boys while running, as they nodded as a response. They ran to the house and they saw the car in front of the house. You're right, Hoyoung, he's here, Changbin said as they breathed heavily. Let's go. They went inside the house and spotted Hyunjin at the bar. Island, drinking. Stop that, Hyunjin, Chan said and quickly grabbed the glass from Hyunjin. Hyung, give me that, leave me alone. Hyunjin said, upset, as he tried to reach the glass from Chan. You shouldn't drink, Chan said, trying to stop him from drinking, getting upset. Too. Why not? It hurts here, Hyunjin said, getting emotional, as he pointed at his chest. It hurts, Huyung, she cheated on me. She broke my trust. Hyunjin, we don't know what the real story is behind the pictures, Han said, trying to be hopeful. Real story, he smirked. Hyunjin, you need to at least hear In's explanation. After that, you can decide whether you believe what she said or not, Changbin said, trying to open Hyunjin's mind to possibilities. Earlier, you should not hurt her. The look on her face was scary and pale. Chan said, disappointed, as they sat down beside him. I don't know whom earlier. After I saw the picture, my vision darkened. I was led by anger, Hyunjin said, shaking his head, looking down, feeling ashamed, as he remembered what he had done earlier. Okay, just chill. Don't drink alcohol. I'm just gonna call Minho, Chan said as he patted his shoulders, and got up from his seat and dialed Minho's number. After 3 rings, Minho answered. Go home, where are you guys? We're here at the clinic. Clinic, why? What happened? We'll go home, Hyung, then we'll explain. After the call, Chan went back to his seat, then Hyunjin asked, Clinic, who's in the clinic? I don't know, just wait for them, Chan replied. They walked to the living room, as they decided to wait there. After an hour, they're here, Chan said as they heard a car stopped. The other boys quickly went inside and sat down on the sofa. Now I'll explain. First of all, Hyunjin, why didn't you tell us that In has PTSD? If she didn't get triggered earlier, we're gonna never know. Minho starts with a serious question. What? She got triggered earlier? Hyunjin stood up shocked, but a panic was visible on his face. Minho and Felix nodded, answering his question. Hyunjin, calm down. Listen to me first. Earlier when she woke up, you are the first one she's looking for, because she doesn't remember what happened between the two of you, but we told her, Minho continued. Remember, you broke up with her and she was crying because of that. Hyunjin, if you want to go to her, I suggest not now, because the pain is still fresh for both of you. Let it cool down first, Minho said, explaining everything to him. And when that time comes, listen to In's explanation first before you end this relationship officially, Sungmin said, joining in the conversation. Trying to make Hyunjin see the situation clearly. Yeah, you're right. I should listen to her explanation when I'm ready and before it's too late. Hyunjin looks down as they tap his shoulders to comfort him. After that, he went to his room. He threw himself at the bed and stared at the ceiling. It's a long day for him. A lot of things happened and is trying to reflect on it. What is this in? Are you cheating on me? Hyunjin shouted, feeling furious, getting the attention of the other students. No, love, it's not what you think. In said, desperate, wanting to explain. Then what is this? Hyunjin shouted, pointing at each word, furious, In flinched at his shout. Why In? Why did you do this? Hyunjin said as he started, crying, remembering what happened earlier. Love, let me explain. In said, stuttering as she tapped his shoulders, signing to let her go. You break my trust. Yn. Hyunjin said, felt the pain. I only went away for 1 week, and then when I came back, this is what you did, he said in disbelief and frustration. Meanwhile, In went home after the nursery checked her. They make her sit in the living room. In, just rest here. I'll just buy your medicines. Okay, Sana said. I'll be in my room, Mom, In said, standing up, feeling devastated. Double quotes, but go eat first, Sana said. Worries are visible on her face. I'm not in the mood to eat, Mom. I'll be in my room then, she answered. Her face looks gloomy, like the earth and heaven crushes on her face. But Kyo is stopping in. She is worried about her friend. I'm okay, Gio. I just want to be alone for now, In said, reassuring her friend, but not completely, as she looks like she's gonna break down right now and there. Hence, In went straight to her room. Just give her some time, Tizuyu said, standing up beside Gio and reassuring her. The pain is still fresh. She needs time to accept it, Yuna said to join her friends. As In went to her room and lay on her bed, she stared at the ceiling, thinking deeply. What is this? In said, in confusion, as Hyunjin gave her a box. Bracelet. Hyunjin answered, opening the box. For what? She asked again. Thank you for the happiness you give me, he said sincerely. Nothing, I just want to hug you. Good morning, love, Hyunjin said lovingly as he turned off the stove and hugged In. Good morning, too, love, In said, smiling lovingly as she hugged him back. One more time, In said, enjoying. 1, 2, 3, double quotes. Hyunjin kissed her on the lips. You don't have to introduce me to them, In said, a little embarrassed. Why not? Remember, you're my girlfriend, their boss's girlfriend, Hyunjin said confidently. We trust each other, right? In asked, looking straight at his eyes. Hyunjin answered with a peck on her lips. You don't trust me at all, Hyunjin. You don't love me at all. You are liar. You immediately believes those photos. I hate you, In said, burying her face at the pillow as she vent out all her pain and frustration at the pillow while crying. After an hour, In, stop crying. You need to study for the finals, she said as she got up from her bed and went to the study area, wiping her tears and sitting there. Stop crying, focus, In, she said as she slapped herself, restraining herself from breaking down. Then she heard a knock on the door. Come in, she answered after gathering herself. Then Gio came in with medicine in her hands. In, you need to take this. In, take the medicine without complaining and drink it straight away. Are you okay now? We heard you crying earlier, Gio asked, concerned. I'll admit it, Gio, I'm not okay. It's so painful because he believes those photos more than me. He doesn't trust me at all, In said, crying again, as she faced Gio. Don't cry, In. Eventually you will move on from him, Gio said, whispering softly to In as she hugged her, comforting her. The atmosphere in the room felt heavy, the sobbing of In is painful to hear. As the girl who is carefree can break down like this, not usual of herself. But how? I love him, Gio, In sobbed really hard. Of course, it's not now, but eventually. One day, you can move on from him too. It will take time, but I know you can do it. Gio said gently, caressing the back of In, soothing her friend. The next day, In felt heavy. She felt like not going to school, but she didn't remember today as their finals, so she had no choice but to go to school. With a heavy heart, she gets up and makes her way to the bathroom. As In went to school and made her way to the locker area, the atmosphere felt uncomfortable, as so many students were eyeing and whispering about her. But she didn't give them attention and continued to make her way to the classroom. She sat on her usual seat, the seat beside Hyunjin. There's an awkward silence between them, and after an hour of sitting there, finally the professor comes in. Okay class, hide your books and notes. We will start the exam on 5.4.3.2.1. Double quotes. The professor quickly said as soon as he stepped into the classroom. Then hearing what the professor said, the students immediately hid their books and notes to their bags. Okay, this will be the last exam in your school life, so don't cheat on yourselves. The professor reminded his students again. Just believe in yourselves and trust your knowledge, he said, encouraging his students. Pass the papers, get one, and pass. They start the exam, and it did take 6 hours for all the subjects, and now the professor was giving announcements. Class, the office decided that we will have a beach camp. It's for thanking and goodbye for you because it's not going to be easy. The challenges in the real world. The exam ended and the students were relaxed now. The professor announced. That's on Saturday and it will be for 3 days. We will leave here at 5 a.m., so prepare what you guys will need. Okay, congrats on completing the exam, you'll go now. The prof said as he dismissed the class and walked out with the test papers on his hands. Yes, finally, it's finished. And that camping. That is going to be amazing, Yuna said excitedly, relieving her tension earlier during the exam. Yup, In, you should come, okay? Tazu said. They wanted to come along with In, for her to forget things and for her to have some fun. In smiled, seeing her friend's excitement. Okay, I'll come. She smiled, but her gaze turned to her right and she saw Hyunjin staring at her with his sad eyes. And that's when her smile turned to a sad one. In tried to talk to him, but he quickly walked away. But I think I changed my mind. I'm sorry, excuse me, she said and ran away. Meanwhile, after the exam, Hyunjin saw the girls there on the corridor, talking, and he saw in Hyunjin, let's go to the arcade. Han said at his back, and then he saw In smiling. Okay, I'll come, he heard and said, as she smiled and she turned her gaze at him. That's when he ran away. Feeling hurt and embarrassed at the same time, he didn't know how to approach her after everything that happened. After everything he said. Wait, Hyunjin, where are you going? Han asked, shouting as Hyunjin suddenly ran away. Where is he going? He asked, turning to the other guys. You know we should chase him. Maybe he'll harm himself, so let's go, guys, Chan said worriedly. They ran quickly but to no avail, because Hyunjin took the car for the second time. We will run again, Changbin said exclaimed. What else? Han said. Let's go, Chan said, as they ran again.